You see, your salary must dictate what you eat, not your appetite. You see, salary is the medicine for managing poverty. It does not cure poverty. Only an investment or a business cures poverty. But not everybody can run a business, but everybody can invest. Okay. If you don't find a way to make your money work for you whilst you are asleep, you will work when you have to be sleeping.
Because I believe that for some of us here, it will be the turning point. You will look back another 10 years, 15 years. Today must be a point of reference. I said today must be a point of reference. We want to thank God for the gift of life and the opportunity to be a blessing. We want to thank Bishop for making time to be here. When we met downstairs, I got inspired. When the Bishop says, I am coming to listen to you, it gives you a special, a new fire. And I believe that you're going to be blessed. Hallelujah. And I want to thank our big brother Reggie and Auntie, my boss, for this invitation. And let me also thank my roommate and my beautiful wife, Linda. When you see a man being used by the Lord, you need to go and check what happens behind the scenes. The month of January, I did about 28 or 29 speaking engagements. And when you have a powerful woman backing you, you wake up at 2 a.m., she's praying. 4 a.m., she's praying. So you get out there with a lot of, you are heavy, you have a prayer warrior at home. Let's get into business. And today we are celebrating independence. Sit much. But you need to ask yourself an important question. Did our independence just happen? Or did we have to fight for it? And if we fought for it, are we truly independent? And we are dealing with the topic, charting the path to financial independence. And let me state that financial independence will not happen by chance. It must happen by choice. You need to make a decision that I want to become financially independent. Can we roll on with the slides? And I want to start with a few questions. Question number one, and I'll let the session be very interactive, so respond to me, please. Question number one, did you know that most of the things we buy and we call assets are really liabilities? Yes or no? It may be so. Okay. I also hear no, so I'm happy about the yes and the no. Did you know you could have very good academic results and have a good job but become financially poor? That one there, you know, pa. Even professors, thank you. When you see a professor pushing his car. And did you know that most employees cannot survive for 3 months without a paycheck? One month. Okay, then let me ask that important question. And don't take offense, but it's a question you need to reflect on. If you lost your job today, sit March 2022. Question is, how many months, how many weeks, how many years can you survive without salary? Thank you for your honesty for this. You see, a rich man once said, if you took all of the money in the world and divided it equally among everybody, it will soon be back in the same pocket it was before. Can I take it again? Come on, can I take it again? If you took all a rich man once said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it equally among everybody, it will soon be back in the same pocket it was before. And Kiyosaki says money is one form of power, but what is even more powerful is financial education. Money comes and money goes, but if you have the education about how money works, you will get power over money and you can begin building wealth. You can begin building wealth. Go for a while though. Almost clear everything. They want to see. I'm not for a while brutal. You see, ladies and gentlemen, there are two important things you need in this journey towards financial independence. Two important things you need. You will need the God factor, very important, the God factor. And you can't belabor the point. The fact that you are here is part of the God factor. You could have been on admission at this time, but you are here. It's part of the God factor. There are people who will come your way and your life will change forever. It's part of the God factor. You can call it whatever, luck, but it's the God factor. But beyond the God factor, it's also the appropriate information, the mindset you need, the strategies, the keys, the capacity you need to make money. You see, you cannot put a gallon of water into a 500, that small bottle, so the 500 ml bottle of water. True or false? True or false? Why? The capacity is small. When it comes to money, there are levels of capacity. Believe you me. Let me tell you this, you can laugh over it. One day I did a TV program. It was about a year or 2 years ago. So the next morning I got a call from a man who said he was a pastor in a certain church. Now, when he watched the thing, Charlie, he thought about the discussion we had on TV. He even had a dream. When he had a dream, he had come to my office and we're doing financial planning. So he's coming. That's all. You can't come like that. My day is already, and it was a very busy day. So I will get somebody to take care of it. He said, no. Obi a mesudaye. Mesudaye no so now I will go have me. And I said, look, my day is fine. I said, don't deny me the opportunity. I have $1 million to invest. When I heard $1 million, he shaking me. And I said, when immediately I heard $1 million, I said, man of God, you know what? I'll call you back. So I went through the appointment. I'm sure I'm a week. So you know what? You just need to be moved to tomorrow. And I called him. I gave him an appointment. He came. We had a beautiful discussion. I walked him through everything. And I handed him over to one of my guys. That day, take care of this man for me. He's a man of God. He has $1 million to invest. Take care of him. And I left for another meeting. So I went for my meeting, came back. And I called Dave. Dave, how did he go? He said, boss, I said, I said, no. So, boss, we finished with everything. And I asked the man, how would you want the investment done? Do you want to write a check? Or you want to transfer the money? The man says, the money is in my pocket. How can 1 million be in your pocket? He was referring to old currency, 100 Ghana. You can't believe it. There's a gentleman seated behind there. He went like, ah! It was 100 Ghana. But you see, you can laugh over it. But based on his capacity, he needed an appointment with the MD to invest his 1 million. But 2 years ago or so, I met a man at Silver Star at the Premier Banking Lounge. I met a man there. We had a nice conversation. It wasn't even difficult. Look, I've heard what do you do. I want to start with something small. So let me give you a small check and let's see how things go. And he gave me a small check of 2.5 million cedis. Capacity. 2.5. I pray that God will grant you capacity. It's a matter of time. 2.5 million must be something small for you. Something small. Something small. And you see, the appropriate information does 3 things. So we talk about the God factor. The appropriate information will help you to manage. So you see, the God factor is responsible for attracting the financial resources you would attract. But it's not enough to attract. The appropriate information will help you to manage the financial resources. It will help you to multiply. So you would manage, you would multiply, and you would preserve. You will preserve. I had a session with a group in the US last night, and the moderator quoted a scripture. And anytime I think about that scripture, Bishop, I ask myself a lot of questions. The scripture says that a good man leaves inheritance for his children's children. But all along, I knew my father was a good man. Hello. I knew my father was a good man until I saw that scripture. Then I started asking questions. But this one is supposed to be a good man. A good man leaves an inheritance. So you want to make money, you want to multiply, and you want to preserve. And I pray that your children, for the men here, your children will call you a good man. Because you will leave money for your children's children. My foundational scripture is Ephesians 3:20. Ephesians 3:20. Can we look at it? Then the Bible says, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. Ask or imagine. The Bible could have said ask and imagine. It said ask or imagine. According to his power that is at work within us. There is a certain power already at work within us. With that power, God can do more than we ask or imagine. Charlie, the financial future we are looking forward to. You can pray into it, and your mind can also do the prayer. The mind can do the prayer. Your mind, I need to see it. You see, the law of first creation states that everything is created twice. First mentally and second physically. Without the first creation, you cannot have the second creation. Believe you me, this auditorium was created twice. It was created twice. There was nothing here. But leadership sat down. We created the auditorium first. And then the second creation takes place. Your financial future is going to be created twice. First mentally and second physically. Where are the dollar millionaires here? Where are the dollar millionaires? Good. Thank you. The mind, I need to see it. Are you with me? You need to write it down. That, look, I will make 2 million. I'll make 5 million by this age. I'll make $5 million. I'll make $2 million. And you start, your mind, I need to see it and be confident about it. Sometimes you just need to read about the rich and understand their lifestyle because you are going to be rich. Your mind has seen it. And for the young men who are confident, even if you don't have a car, Monday is a holiday. Tuesday, I encourage you. Go to the showroom. Go to Silver Star. Go and look at the Mercedes. Don't look at the C class. Look at the S class. What the trot run a choir? At Ura Silver Star S class, who be done and no account. And those who want the big cars, go to Toyota. Go and check the Land Cruiser, the V8, the new model. You open the door, no account. Is this diesel or petrol? Does it come with a navigation system? Now these are questions. I can see. We are catching up. Say, I am going. I shall return. It is a matter of time. I said it's a matter of time. When you go, ask the name of the salesperson. In 5 years, in 10 years, in 20, in 15 years, 20 years is too far. In fact, 10 years, maximum 15 years. When you go back, ask for that salesperson. Where is he? I was here some time ago. I told him I shall return. You see, this is the traditional thinking. Traditional thinking says, get a good education. Let's look at it. Next slide. Get a good education. Find a good job with some secure benefits. You work till you are 60, you're going to get a good pension. How many of us have heard this statement as you were going to school? You were told that Uko school is papa. How many had it? Good. But you see, this thinking was perfect in the 1970s and 80s. In the year 2022, it's important to go to school. Don't get me wrong. I have my master's, I've done training, I've done MIT, I've done Harvard. And I intend to train myself. I want to do a PhD, and there is nothing wrong with that. But it's not enough to go to school. There must be a new way of thinking. What is the new way of thinking? Let's look at the new way of thinking. You want to learn to manage personal finances so that you are able to do 3 important things. 1, you are able to save. What does savings mean? Savings means deferred consumption, money not spent. So if you have 10,000 cedis, you keep that 10,000 for 5 years. You have saved that money. It's good, but it's not enough because what you can do with the 10,000 today, in 5 years you can't do with the 5,000. Are you with me? You can't do with the 10,000. Are you with me? So it's not enough to save. Beyond savings, you need to invest. What does investment mean? Investment simply means you are committing whatever you have saved into a financial asset or into a business so that it creates more money for you. I'll talk about entrepreneurship. I'll talk about the side hustle and all that. But I am convinced that if you are even an employee and you understand what we are teaching this afternoon, you can be an employee and still enjoy your life and have a decent life. But the reason why you are investing is that you want to become financially independent. What does financial independence mean? Financial independence simply means getting to that stage in life where you can sustain your desired lifestyle without salary. Getting to that stage in life, you can live the life you want to live and sustain it without a salary. When you get there, we say you are financially independent. So for example, if you needed 4,000 every month for your desired lifestyle, and this is just for the purposes of explanation, what it means is that you need 48,000 a year. That is 4,000 multiplied by 12 months. Now, if you have investment of just 400,000 cedis, and by the time we are done, you will agree with me that 400,000 is not a big deal. If you have investment of just 400K and you can make an interest of 18%, your interest is 72,000 a year. Meanwhile, you need 48,000 a year. The 72,000 a year divided by 12 months is 6,000 cedis a month. But remember, you need 4,000 for your desired lifestyle, and your investment is generating 6,000 a month. So the return on your investment is about 50% more than what you need for your desired lifestyle. Are you with me? It may be an investment, it may be a real estate property you have that is generating cash flows for you. But the important thing is you have automated your cash flows such that you know that a minimum of 6K will come. Or if you want, those of us who want to live big, if your desired lifestyle, you need 40,000 cedis a month, and you have 4 million cedis in investment, that will easily give you about 60,000 a month. 60,000, yeah. 60,000 cedis a month, which is about 20,000 more than the 40,000. At that point, we say you are financially, come on, financially. And that is where we have been pushing the agenda very hard, and the results are amazing. That young men in church will become financially independent. You'll become financially independent. And when you become financially independent, it does something to you. Nobody can threaten you. When your boss threatens you, threaten him. Say, boss, this is your last warning. If you do this again, I will resign. But you know what? I have observed that if what to do in Yama year, Obi what to do in Yama year, in same way, I am found foul panel. May God grant you the grace to become financially independent. And we are not pushing the agenda of financial independence so that we will find some lazy Christians who are rich and they don't do anything with their lives. No, we are pushing the financial independence agenda so that God will bless us with people who want to use their lives to do things that are fulfilling, that are eternally rewarding, that may not necessarily be financially rewarding. Are you with me? You are working on souls. How much can you be paid on souls? Nobody can pay you. But money does not become the motivation. Are we together? And I pray that, look, it will be so beautiful. I see a number of young people here. 5 young men, 5 young women who are financially independent before age 40. And they make a special request to Bishop. Bishop, we demand an hour meeting with you. And they meet with Bishop. What is the issue? See, Bishop, 10 of us, we are financially independent. We want to go and open a church somewhere. We don't need anything from the church. We have our money. In fact, give us a link to the northern region. We're going to start a church. We'll be there for a month. We'll plant a church before we come. And as we are going with our own plant, instrument, chairs, everything, food, caterers. We are going with everything. We are going with doctors. We are going with medical supplies. We'll take care of them and we'll plant a church. And the day you leave Accra to the northern region, you are going in a convoy, the Lexus. And the Lexus 570, the Land Cruiser, the V8, you know, top of the range. Nyamiya Maduma, one of you will be blessed to give you a motor convoy to lead you. So we are going for evangelism. And you know what? When you enter that village, that northern part with that convoy, whether you like it or not, And when you go to the chief, you say, we are from Victory Bible Church, 10 of us. The Lord has blessed us. We are here to bless your people. But the land is for you. We can't come on your land without coming to seek blessing from you. So we have come that you bless us for what we are coming to do. But we have also been trained in church that you don't go to the palace, you don't go to a senior person empty-handed. We have been trained. So we didn't come empty-handed. We came with a small envelope so you can buy water for your visitors. This is $20,000. We came with a small envelope. And listen. Let me have your attention. I'm not done yet. And you see, this is a small envelope. We are just knocking on your door. This is $20,000. But once the Lord grants us grace to plant a church here, we'll be visiting you more often. All we need from you is to help us to plant a church. I want you to imagine the support you will get. Who said money is not important? Okay, let me walk you through some 5 keys. 5 keys that will help you chart the path, that will help you plan, that will help you become financially independent. And I want the session to be interesting and interactive. So what we'll do is we'll rehearse the keys together. So key number one, and I want us to take it together. Key number 1 is take a decision to become financially independent. Can we take it together? Guys, I need power from you. Can we take it together? Good. If you can, tell somebody seated by you to take that decision. We want rich people in church. Why a problem, Mama? Take a decision. We want you to be rich. Because you know what? Poverty and riches are both based on decisions. If you don't decide to be rich, the challenges will be the default. The truth is that the lack of money is a major source of stress in our lives and relationships. The lack of money. Plenty of the marriage problems is money problem. Money problems. Who needs a car? What's up, sir? Who do sir? Who needs a car? Who do you have We thank God for prayer and fasting, but hear me out. The mistakes our fathers made, who make that mistake? Because you can pray and fast and still die of hunger. And yes, prayer warriors, the rich people in the church. But you see, we are praying that we'll raise a new generation of prayer warriors. People who love the Lord, who speak in tongues. Ma kayan dalababo. Kabraska behi andalapapa. They speak in tongues, but they are rich. When they have their prayer warriors meetings, you visit them. You will see the cars back there. So what is happening is that they are praying. You see, we need to come to that realization that money is important. Financial independence is a choice. You either make the choice or not. If you make the choice, there are rules of engagement, and you must be willing to abide by the rules of engagement. You got to make that decision. Who said money is not important? No. When the cars are, who said money is not important? This life is not all about money. This life, listen to me, it's not all about money, but money must be understood. In fact, almost everything physical can be answered with money. Almost everything physical can be answered with money. Money will give you the ability to do more things. And more things here means more things. And it means more things, so, including more things. And money does more things. Imagine more things. I said money does, including, plus, imagining, In fact, money does. And more things means. Money will give you access to better healthcare facilities. Bishop, one time we took one of our children to the hospital. When the consulting room, when another doctor walked in, and said, "Oh, sorry, I need to talk to doc." And he came to seek a second opinion. He had a patient, he was recommending a medication. On the medication. So he came for a second opinion, and my doctor said, No. Get this medicine for him. I think this will deal with it. And the doctor said, yes, I know that medicine. But the patient in my room, he can't afford that one. And yes, that day I got to know, sir, they were a sikafwedro. Anyway, he have wedro. As you enter the consulting room, the doctors to their experience, any doctor here, medical doctor, they are experienced. Or to be sure with shirts now, no one sure with cash key. Shirts and they say we a lot of mileage are they say shirts if we were too kind. mileage that's so they can read in between the lines. No, I sure not the amount. Money will give you access to better educational facilities. There is a classical story I keep sharing. The year 2009, I had the opportunity to share with some young people on the subject matter, see you at the top. At the Swedro, I fired them. I know I fired them. It is a message when you deliver, you know you have delivered. One of the things I did was I projected my own MBA results. I did my MBA, I wrote 18 papers, I made 18 A's. Yeah, so I'm overall best student. I projected it. Wherever you find yourself, you have to dominate. You can't be in class. The Muslims must come to you to teach them. The finance they don't understand, you teach them. So we'll pray before I teach you. Accept Christ. If he doesn't accept, you won't teach him. Salvation under duress. So I finished. And this young lady, beautiful young lady, teenager, walks me and says, Elder, please, I want to be your friend. I want you to be my father. I said, no problem. I will take you as a daughter. You will be my friend. She says, Elder, can I have your number? I said, yes. She took my number. I said, Elder, I am making a promise to you. I'm in secondary school. I'll make 8 A1s. She took my number. Long story short, results came. She made 8 A1s. What do you want to be? I want to be a medical doctor. She bought forms to the medical school. Admission came. Her name was on the admission list. I said it's a mistake. Go and tell them you are the lady who made the 8 A1s. She goes, she's told that if she's willing to be a fee-paying student, she'll be admitted. Fee-paying student. Then the mother called me and the mother said, Elder, my husband is dead. I am a single mother with 4 children. The school fees was 3,500 cedis. So that there is no way I can raise that school fees. Forgive me for the language I'm going to use, but that day I got to realize that poverty can make nonsense of intelligence. So I took the results and I sent it to our colleagues. I sent it to everybody who can help. We managed to get some protocol intervention. That young lady got a late admission. Today, as we're talking, she's a medical doctor. And you see, when I think about that young lady, I ask myself one important question. If this lady had not gone to the medical school, what would have happened to her? She may be selling something on our streets. Oranges, she went to, somebody says, I will help you. An irresponsible man. Let me make an important statement here. Let me make an important statement, and please hear me. Let me make an important statement. Money is like a gun. Money is like a gun. When you give it to the wrong person, we are all in trouble. When irresponsible men make money, we are all in trouble. When you give that same gun to a military officer, we can all sleep sound at night. Because the gun is in the right hands. And this young lady, some irresponsible man who has made money, says, I'll take care of you. Who said money is not important? I pray that for all of us here, it will never happen to anybody that your child could have attained a certain level of education, but you diverted her path, you diverted his path. And I've seen a number of them, children who has admission, they are told that, oh, how do you allowance? I've seen that. Are you with me? Yes. Are you with me? Look, money is important too. And money will even, it can even make marriage better. True or false? If somebody saying false, you say false, we'll pray for you. We'll take a break and we'll deliver you from the powers of darkness. I did a session with a company. I said money can even make marriage better. A lady lifted her hand. I thought she was going to ask a question. I said, yes, madam. He said, Mr. MANTEY, even romance without money is equal to annoyance. True or false? Amen in the house. Amen in the house. Amen in the house. Let me see your hand if you're a man. Look, if you're a man here, you need to be determined to make money. Women don't eat, I love you. You can't go to shop with I love you. Your wife cannot go to the market with her. Make money and let her chop some. And are you with me? Money does make marriage better. The papa. I'm telling you, so the papa. If when Yahweh was assessing you need to be determined that you will make money. Look at that. Next slide. Look at that. Proverbs 22:7. The Bible says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is a slave to the lender. Other translation says, the borrower is a servant to the lender. When you read Proverbs 19:7, the Bible says, the poor are shunned by all their relatives. How much more do their friends avoid them? Though the poor pursue them with pleading, they are nowhere to be found. Proverbs 10:15. Proverbs 10:15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The distraction of the poor is their poverty. It's his own poverty. I like the tree. Sometimes the devil has no idea. It's poverty. It's poverty. Genesis 45:27. Let's go back. Genesis 45:27. Go back to that slide. The slide before this, yes. When Jacob sent his children to Egypt to go and look for food, they met their brother Joseph, who said, go and bring my father in here. And they went to their father. They are reporting 45:27 Genesis. And they told their father, all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when their father, when he saw the wagons, remember the wagons to be the V8 and the V12s. When he saw the wagons, which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob, their father, revived. Right? Imagine your parents. Now, what shall Baba? Now, we do level B in life. I saw worry. Now, Baba, said, "My confused." Remember me, they are all in church. You know him. He fears a lot. No, Bakono, or finances are symptom. So he's doing very well. He's a guy who uses the Land Cruiser. But the other one, he loves a lot, but he's still trusting God. And mommy, I am confused. Bishop said we're confused. How can you be confused? Move to the next slide. Look at that. Genesis 47:19. When Egypt had the challenges, the people went to Joseph and listen to what he said. Why should we perish before our eyes? We are hungry. There is no food. Why should we perish before your eyes? We and our land as well. Buy us and our land in exchange for food. Buy us and our land in exchange for food. And a lot of Christians, man of God, they are making the same statement. They don't even know. When you're a young woman here, you are not married, and you compromise on your Christian values because of ahochire. You are quoting this scripture. Buy us and our land in exchange for food. Whenever you do the under invoicing, over invoice, Charlie, the thing you are doing, you know that it's loaded, Bishop. Toya man, toya nkwana, toya asase. Toma hofe, tomi nkwa, tomi nyamesum. Senia komedi mi senia medidi. And you see, the land is not for one generation. Watch me. The land is never for one generation. You farm on the land, you leave the land for the next generation. So when you find one generation who are hungry, who says, buy us and buy our land in exchange for food, they have robbed generations of blessings. So when you hear, I know this is a church, when you hear people saying we are hungry and there is good, why should we be hungry? Buy us. Buy us and our land. This is deep. And the day we understood this scripture, myself and my wife, so there are things we will see, and I'll shout, buy us. And she will respond, buy us. But you may not understand. Because we look at Nipani, Brabona or Bona, the Shadiana or Yana, a Yahuchre, a Yakom or the Yanni or Yano, Osrunyame, but Comodeno. You need to make a vow today. You need to make a vow to yourself that you will not steal, but you will make money. Because you see, God blesses us that when we come to Christ, He has blessed us. So there are 4 realms of living. It's not part of man's life. So the survival stage, comfort stage, luxury, extravagance, 4 stages of living. Survival, luxury, survival, comfort, luxury, extravagance. It is my belief that God desires that we live within the 2. Either comfort or luxury. Extravagance is being a bit wasteful. So you find somebody who has 15 Mercedes. And they train up people will say you will seek. It's extravagance. I don't think that is where God wants us to be. But I don't believe God wants us to be in the survival stage. Rent is so no problem about. School be no problem about. Why? Look, Ecclesiastes 9, 13 to 16. I saw another son, this example of wisdom that greatly impressed me. There was once a small city with only a few people in it, and a powerful king came against it, surrounded it, and built huge siege work against it. Now there lived in that city a man poor but wise. Contradiction. Poor but wise. And he saved the city by his wisdom, but nobody remembered that poor man. So I said, wisdom is better than strength, but the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are no longer heeded. Who said money is not important? Who said money is not important? And who needs to cancel? Sometimes you can by heart. People make statements by heart, and sometimes you just look at them, man, where you in? Who needs to cancel a drone yet? And you hear statements like, car be a car. And Crawford says Sika and $100,000 and now the Koto car back home. Sasikano the mamia met me out to home use 15. Oh boy, are you here? Are you here, Casa? Who needs car? There was one day, Bishop. I saw a post on Facebook. Somebody had done a long post. Charlie, you are here the research bar. If you live in a big house, it doesn't mean you have peace. If you if you drive a Mercedes, it doesn't mean you get to your destination safely. If you fly business class, it doesn't mean and for comments, no so and for commenting, amen. God bless you. You are speaking my language. And I read the comment and I said, look at Poor People Conference. And you have to encourage you. Poor people, they have met and they are encouraging each other. You see, take a decision to be rich. Take a decision to become financially independent. Because money is important. Money is important. Money does two important things in our lives. And money does what I call time redemption. If you have money, you know you can have 48 hours in a day. Oh, yes. Should I break it down? Because when you have money, you can buy other people's time. So the things you need to do, other people can do it. So you can multiply yourself. If you have money, you can multiply yourself. You can redeem time. Well, money is a mechanism for efficiency. When you have more money, you are more efficient. When you have a driver, it's not a luxury. What it means is if you spend an hour and a half to work every morning, whilst you are driving to work, you can read. You can read a book. You can respond to your WhatsApp messages. You can read. So it's not a luxury. It's an efficient way of living. You see, if you have to go to Kumasi, do you know if you walk, you'll get to Kumasi? You know you can ride a bicycle to Kumasi. You know you can use a bus, a public transport. You know you can also fly to Kumasi. We see can explain how quickly you can get to Kumasi. But even the flying, there are levels of flying. If you have your private jet, it's not a luxury. You have for and our software be at a private jet and no myself sorry this guy and you have for yes. Are you with me? Are we together? So money is important. Next slide. I've spent too much time here. Anybody can wish for riches, and most people do. But only a few know that a definite plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating wealth. If it must be done, it must be done now. And it must be done well. 3 things will hinder you from taking off. 1, procrastination. Ochina meye, minyini kakra, me mani nyini a me waria. Me wafa befa me kwa abrochira. Tomorrow would never come. So 1, procrastination. 2 is excuses. You can always find an excuse why you cannot do it. An excuse number 1 for a number of people is the salary is not enough. And 3 is blame. It's my uncle. It's the government in power. It's this. As long as you point somebody, you cannot take responsibility for your finances. Do you know last year during the COVID, we made more billionaires in the world than any period the last several years. Last year, China alone made over 200 billionaires. Yeah. Within every difficulty are opportunities. Key number 2. Plan your finances. Can we take it together? Your energy has gone down. Can we take it together? You got to plan your finances. As you go through the journey of life, every stage in the journey requires some planning. Whether you're a student, you are married, you are closing into retirement. Even when you're on retirement, it requires some planning. And plan for anything that is important to you. Project, where is the machine? So watch me. When I signal you, then we move. So we'll be on the same page. Yeah. So plan for anything that is important to you, but plan for these 5 important areas. 5 important areas. Area number 1 is retirement planning, old age. The statistics are horrible. Look, next slide. Let me jump to number 2. No, go back. Number 2. There is a man called Aman Kwampof who used to read news on GTV. The guy said he worked with GBC for 32 years and he was given less than 20,000 cedis. Daily Graphic, August 24, 2021. 53% of SNIT beneficiaries receive less than 1,000 cedis a month. A man came to my office who had been a driver in the company for 35 years and retired, and he got a lump sum of 10,500 cedis. Monthly pension, 350 Ghana cedis a month. And you see, based on my observation, that is what kills people before their time. So, what Bobrawa Yejuma for 30 years, for 35 years, you have retired. After electricity bill bar, this is a Omaya meeting. Now, meeting, so I'm here, tell me, Uncolano, Usha Busia, Colano, Benya Bakubi, or yes, stubborn Kakra. Now, or yes, stubborn. Yet, you are. Oba who said now, mianu ni bia fa chire no akobọ maami amane akobọ papa amane oba we yesi enti on peso betua na maami na komate me bre wo me be hu anti market ya nie. But if you plan your retirement well, I joined EcoBank 2007. I joined EcoBank 2007. I worked with Auntie Evelyn for several years. And a number of people I inherited who we had to manage their finances for were people who are on retirement. When I joined, they were on retirement. They are still on retirement. They are still enjoying life. They are not dying, you know. Who is the car? Oba quietly. Mami 100,000 kodi. No, I did not call. One of them, I helped plan his retirement. He retired, invited me home for a conversation. I went home, he had one simple question. Check for me, my money with you. How much interest do I make every month? I put on my laptop, I checked. The man is making 60K a month, 60,000 a month. Interest. He says, look, if I'm making 60K a month, from this very month, the man we're having a conversation, every month pay 30,000 into my account. I asked him 30,000 for what? He said, for shopping. Bishop, he said, my retirement plan is to spend 1,000 a day. So the 30,000 is for 30 days. And he took it every month. Say, or they call 40, last year, not your 40,000 a month. This year, meaning baby or belande. But you see, he's just taking about half of his interest and he's living a good life. Oh, retire, Nasikawa with Semna. A Bushia meeting, I can see now, so now back to them. That. Self-actualization. Obi ko wari ebusuya no kura wo nse da nim no ba ba kwetinem. O ma ya ya nshase awari na maso. Are you with me? One of my clients who retired came off to the office with a wife. What brings you here? They said, we are here to thank you. But not only to thank you, we are here to also make a request. I asked them, what is the request? They said, we now want to buy a dream car. What do you want to buy? They said, we want to buy a Land Cruiser V8. So I released money, they bought the Land Cruiser V8. So he traveled, he called me, Paul, but the car need to cry. I said, Papa, the car need to say, do you like it? He said, Meba, car no friend or Joe. I see, the man said, Meba, sir, you walk car. Any car. Bishop, there are some people sitting here. They think they are driving a car. May the Lord grant us grace. May the Lord grant us grace. May the Lord grant us grace. You see, 3 stages in life: learning stage, earning stage, retirement stage. What you do during the earning stage will influence the retirement stage. Next slide, next slide. Then when it comes to retirement planning, there are 2 parts of retirement planning: the non-financial and the financial. So don't limit it to only financial. Next slide. 10 reasons or about 9 reasons why you need to take retirement planning serious. Low monthly pension payment in a number of developing countries, including Ghana. Financial planning for retirement makes it easy to have a great retirement. Number 3, longer life expectancy. Today, because of access to medical care and all that, everybody here is careful about what they are eating. So we are living longer. So you can retire at 60 and live till 95. That is 35 years without income. Number 4, escalating health costs during pension. Number 5, you may not have the energy to work during pension, even if you want to work. Number 6, you may not find a job even if you have the energy. Number 7, you may not be able to depend on your children. Children are not retirement investment. Don't get me wrong. When we talk to children, we say it's a blessing to take care of your parents. So when we talk to children, we say take care of your parents. Let them bless you in their old age. When we talk to parents, we say plan your old age. Don't be a burden on the children. Sometimes the children are willing, but they are not capable. So the children cannot be a retirement plan. Number 8, fragmentation of the family system, where we're looking more towards nuclear than extended. Number 9 is inflation. Prices of goods and services will keep increasing. But let's come back. It's all part of it. It makes it interesting. How do you plan for retirement? If you came to us, we can help you. We can customize the plan for you. But a simple approach would be building huge investment and living on the interest. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Next slide. Almost everybody in this room, next slide please, will find your year of birth. Either here or here. There are 2 tables. Look for your year of birth. Once you find your year of birth, next to it you'll find your age. Once you find your age, next to it you'll find the number of years you are left to retire. Once you find the number of years you are left to retire, next to it you will find the number of salaries you are left to take before you retire. Please, those Amoka, locate yourself and let's continue. Who can be allocate to yourself? Next slide. Look at 2 individuals, Joe and Mike. Joe is 30 years, decides to put 500 cedis away every month towards retirement at 18% compounded quarterly. By the time Joe is 60, total amount invested is 160,000 cedis. But the 160,000 would have grown to 6.5 million cedis. 6.5 million. Mike delays till age 45 and decides to do 1,000 cedis every month. By the time Mike is 60, he would also have invested 180,000, just like Joe, but Mike will end up with 868,000. The younger you are, the easier it becomes. If you haven't started planning for your retirement, you got to start now. Because, next slide, because you are already at the crossroads. You have a life-changing decision to make. Will you create the retirement that you want, or you take the one that shows up? You don't create what you want, you will not like what shows up. Second area of planning, quickly, is housing. Housing. I want to encourage every adult member here. You need to live in your own house. If you don't have a house this year, take steps to buy a plot of land. This one will be Vision 2027. In the next 5 years, every adult member in this auditorium must live in your own house. The next 5 years. But watch this. Don't make the mistake I almost made with Linda. What was the mistake? We confused dream house with the first house. In Tietna rented house, we lived in rented houses for about 10 years, 11 years before we moved into our own house because we had a confusion. I see a number of young people having the same confusion. What is the confusion? We confuse dream house with the first house. So a number of people want to build their first house and they attempt something like this. This is a 7-bedroom house. You will start, you will never finish. What shall I say? And watch me. Too many people. I was in a full gospel meeting on Tuesday or Wednesday. A guy called me. He said, "Pop, me this, but my local has so much money in it. I said, do baby, I back of bed 2 years because me discussion my area, but me so much swashema, I am not able to abandon it. You start this, you be putting money in it, and you still be paying rent. The average worker will use between 10 and 20 years to build this. By the time you are done with this house, all your children are gone. It's when you are 20,000, the man 4 man. Or my cost site, the following day, no follow up. It's a 4 man. Now, I'm not man yet, Juma. So, yeah, Juma, a pillar, is you. This is called a dream house. Don't make this mistake. Instead of the dream house, first house. This is a 3-bedroom house. Look, once you have a plot of land and you are committed within 5 years, you can put this in a state that is habitable. And I'm telling you, believe me, you don't need more than 20,000 cedis to buy enough blocks to build this. When you have a maximum of 20,000 and you have enough blocks, why you have a challenge will be the foundation and the roofing. But once you put a roof on the house, whether it is plastered or not plastered, painted or not painted, how many bedrooms? How many bedrooms? You don't need to waste your time on that 7-bedroom house. It is called dream house. Let it remain in your dream. And focus on a 3-bedroom house. I asked this question in my presentations. After today, how many children are the average couple giving birth to? And when I hear it, because whenever I ask, you hear 2, 3, me I have 4. A bishop, I don't have ordinary 4, I have 4 boys. Bread now, me talk 10. 10. 10. I saw top bread, no to jam, no to margarine, no to chocolate. They see her. Because one day the lady who sells the bread said, "Sir, please, I'm sorry, I'm not being inquisitive. What have you doing with the bread?" See, I have a boarding house in my house. But let's come back to class. Whether 2 or 3 or 4, the children are either going to be boys or girls. 3-bedroom, the boys are in one room, the girls are in one room, the parents are in one room. Finish. Even 4 boys, they can be in one room, 2 bunk beds. And 2 bunk beds, seniors in better show, the juniors in form. You only advise the seniors anytime you dream. And you are playing football in a dream. You have to remember in the dream. You are lying on the bank bed. But are you with me? I have a friend. I had lunch with one of my friends, a lawyer friend, the other day. He's lived in the house the last 6 years. Nobody has slept in the guest room the last 6 years. Oh, you are renting a house. We need that. We are telling you that go and build your house. We need that. You are here. You are thinking about a guest who may not come. Even those who live in chamber will receive guests. True of us. When the guests come, or leave you, if you are an important guest, we move the children from one room. Move the children from one room near the side dynamo. Then also the next morning, I don't have a say, "Uncle, my school uniform." I know Biana Pakacho say, "Ana Paku Nyama." Nako baby, I'll free by him. I know that brand. No one will so be there now. Don't tell anybody this. So when the people come from the village, you give your mom dying, air condition, TV, fridge, encore. Or crowd the announcement because hey, how are you? So focus on the first house. Please, let me make 2 important statements. 1, location matters. It is cheaper to live in a quarter plot closer to town than to live on an acre of land far away. Ube fifia humache, ube dufia najo. There was a guy who shared a story on the city the other day, Bishop. But he can swear I see the beer of 5:30. Now that could be not a year to quite or no answer known to me, na papa. And you're sorry, and you say, "Hey, Kaswa traffic." And no could here. And not dressing your shame is in a tie or but tie, not Tinakemo. But 2 cars, no, we say, quite this way, unusually quiet. No, yes, and your mamma time now walk can him, or we are about 2. It is cheaper. It is cheaper to live on a quarter plot closer to town. You can. It's more expensive when you live far away. We don't quantify the marginal cost of fuel. You spend so much on fuel. We don't quantify the risk, the time. This life is short. I encourage you, live life. Live life. Please, this life is short. Some of us, our whole life is just work. No, this life is short. Live life. The second statement I want to make about housing is that you can also use a mortgage. Mortgage means you take a loan to buy the house. The difference between paying rent and using a mortgage is that anytime you pay rent, that money is gone for good. It will never come back again. Anytime you service a mortgage, servicing the mortgage means you are paying the loan in bits. And you need a mortgage here. Emmanuel is here. Are you here? Emmanuel, out there for details, man. We will arrange and then we will get you a package in EcoBank. Okay. You may know how. So I had a meeting with consumer and I discussed with them. Said bank ejuma see a one crofo. It's mortgage no. Beyond the profit. See the boss some young people to settle down. So we have agreed on a plan that we will do more mortgages. We will help young people to settle down. But if you are taking a mortgage to buy a house, listen to me. Don't go and buy some big house that will eat you up. Buy a smaller house that could be expanded. You take a mortgage, the rule is within 7 years payoff. With your mortgage now, don't change your car. Now they are 7 years payoff. If you take a mortgage in the currency of your earning. $1 mortgage. Area number 3 is the children's education. Once you have children, plan to give them quality education. Very important. When the children are young, you can look at the school fees for the year. Primary, GHS, secondary school fees for the year divided by 12 months. You can get Emmanuel to open an account for you for the school fees. And the school fees for the year, the Busmi are now a standing order. So you are making provision for school fees every month. The school beer, you withdraw and then you pay. But you also need to plan for college education. 4th area of planning is giving back. Giving back. The Lord blesses us to be a blessing. So it's not just, the Lord does not bless us to become a reservoir. He blesses us to become a conduit, a channel. So you can adapt some young lady in church, some young man in church and take care of them. And they don't need more than 2,000 CDs the whole year. And they'll be in school. So put a smile on the face of somebody. Very important. But more than say people within Wakasa Dauroma. And yeah, Semesi and Kamanko school. That is what the Christian living is. And you see, when you do that, you impact that person forever. There are some people, what we tell them they will do. And then the friend says, A, B, C, D, our with Debbie, that will be the final decision. Because you have impacted their life so much that they trust you. And in the same way they trust you that you will help them. When the wrong people help them, they also take advantage of them. So give back. And the 5th area of planning, the final area of planning, very important, is what I call high life. Say with me, high life. Oh, say with me, high life. High life here simply means you make money and chop some. Ujesika DB. Once in a while, chop some. And I learned this at a wedding in 2014. I attended a wedding. The pastor preached, the minister preached. He said, I've been a pastor for about 30 years. He said, I've officiated several wedding ceremonies. And I've officiated several funeral ceremonies. He said, based on my experience, I observed my church members and I realized most of them, most couples, they don't enjoy life. They don't celebrate each other until one dies. So you go for the funeral, you look at the casket, beautiful casket. You look at the funeral brochure, you look at the food, plenty. You ask the surviving spouse, whether it's the husband or the wife, why are you doing this? They will tell you, I want to honor my wife. I want to honor my husband. But at that point, the person is dead. So he advised the couples, and I took that advice. From 2014, I do a vacation every year with my wife. Apart from last year, COVID. You took one year, G any brutal. Bishop, who elder pa, no me no call me vacation or Dubai. Vacation so kwa uji jeans. Now I do Lacoste. Uko vacation Lacoste no you pejakala no. Upejakala no asha with shades. Na elder will crew. Elder will crew. May God bless the church with husbands with a swag. Yeah. Feeling no hapa. He's a husband with a swag. I love you. I love you. Are you with me? Take a vacation. People make all kinds of excuses. Oh, they won't die. They won't die. 1 week, 2 weeks, you live there, they won't die. Take a break. Travel somewhere. Some of the experiences are so beautiful. When you travel to a place, language you know cannot take. Oh, what they be because if you are not hotel, Linda, you remember we went to Shanghai. Hotel, you need to back on to Brofo. Brofo now out can yente. Watch me. You can build 20 houses. It cannot replace the memories you build with your loved one. So make money and chop some. Once in a while, eat in a good restaurant. Bishop, the Christopher Bebriawari, a triangle. Church, work, home. Church, 3 places. Church, work, home. Yawari 10 years. Yawari 15. You got 30. I'm call retirement in a straight line. I'm call retirement in a church home. Church home. Suwambeni. On this Independence Day, receive the grace to add enjoyment to your life. The Bible says this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The Bia was why she. Christophobia, the Bia or your calculation, or your budgeting, or balancing. The Bia why you are they and balancing that. Once in a while, take your wife, take your husband, go to a good restaurant, go and have a good lunch. They bring you the bill. When you're in the car, you're brought bill. 500. One hour, when it's baby, you food this you got the bill. Immediately they bring the bill to you. 500. Immediately poverty will come and stand behind you. And poverty will start talking to you. Wow, look. 500. How much is the rice? The bag of rice? Even the 25 kilos. How much is it? And I don't know you are better now. And no matter the photo. And the poverty will talk to you. Be bold. Tell and say poverty. Tell me behind me poverty. Are we together? How am I doing? Are we having a good time? Key number 3. Key number 3. Pay yourself and invest all windfalls. Can we take it together? Okay, so we work hard, we make money. Once we make the money, for the average person, we make money to distribute. So we make the money, we start landlord, Ghana Water, ECG, MTN, this, that, school fees, Adriani, Aketiano here. Son. A sample and will be some one important question, and then it's cry a day. Now, what I say, a calculation, and your parent say, payday. And payday will come, you are right, but you go through that cycle again. I've met people who have worked for 20 years. Their whole life, they have been making money only to distribute. They make the money and then they distribute. And so they are not investing. And they will tell you that because the salary is not enough. You see, there is a law called the Parkinson law. The Parkinson law explains why most people will retire poor even after earning substantial income through their working years. The Parkinson law states that no matter how much people earn, they will always adjust their lifestyle to match their salary. So as salary is increasing, lifestyle is adjusted. And I can speak on authority that it's the case. I was in a church one day, I asked a simple question. How many of you are not investing because your salaries are not enough? Let me see by hand. The whole church. Then I did a follow-up question. How many of you believe that if your salary is doubled from today, now it will be enough and you can save and invest? If the salary is doubled, let me see by hand. Half of the church lifted their hand. I called 10 of them at random. Come and stand in front. 10 of them came. And then I gave them pieces of paper. I said, each of you, write the current salary for me. Just the salary. Don't add your name. Among the 10, the lowest income earner was earning 350 cedis a month. For some reason, this person believes that a double of that salary would be enough. How much is the double of that? 700. Good. But another person within the 10 was also on a 5,000 cedi salary. Onu said it's not enough. There was one on 11,000 cedis. The highest income among the 10 was on a salary of 20,000 a month. The guy earning 350 says it's not enough. The guy earning 20,000 cedis says it's not enough. The salary is never enough because of lifestyle. And some of us can relate. Look, when you started life, you didn't have a car. You were struggling with the trustee. When salary increased, now you started doing the taxi and the Uber. As the salary is increasing, you buy some small car, motor, then to a car. And as the salary is increasing, and there is nothing wrong with changing your lifestyle as long as you are investing. But there is everything wrong with just living and spending everything you earn. So I recommend the 10-20-70 principle. You pay your tithe of 10%. You pay your tithe of 10%. Guys, you are enjoying the session too much. You pay your tithe of 10%. Beyond tithing, minimum of 20% of whatever you earn must go into investment. Minimum. I said minimum. Yes. Minimum 20%. Where did I get the 20% from? I got it from Joseph. It's the advice he gave to Pharaoh. That if we can put 1 5th of the harvest away, we are going to be fine. We supply the world with food. And that 20%, I saved minimum. Because the 20%, okay, let me explain. The 70% maximum is for all other things. But 20% minimum, because if you are 25, if you are 30, you are 35. If you do 20%, you are going to be fine. If you are 50 already, you do 20%, you will struggle. So if you are a bit old, that means that you need to up your game. You need to do more because you don't have a lot of time. And also invest all windfall. A windfall is any money you haven't budgeted to receive because you would have lived your life without that. So invest all windfalls. The accounts have a proverb. They say, only the wise bite bones out of eggs. Money is like an egg. You can consume it all today. Or the same egg, assuming you are giving fresh eggs this morning, you can have your nice omelette. When you have toasted bread, you can. Now when you are this way is when you are good. But the same egg, if you defer consumption, it can be hatched into a chicken. But that chicken will grow. And one day you can prepare soup or stew out of that chicken. And when you take the thigh and you bite the bone in the thigh, what you have done is you have beaten a bone out of your egg. Within every income, there is food. Guys, within every income, there is food and seed. Just like in most fruit, you find seed and you find food. The food in the income is for consumption. And the food in the fruit is for consumption. But the seed in the fruit is not for consumption, it's for sowing. In the same way, the seed in the income is not for consumption. And the seed must be a minimum of 20%. How do you find the money to invest? You got to watch spending habit. Almost every expenditure can be cut down between 1 and 70%. Almost every expenditure. Watch first time spending if you haven't done it before. Watch the simple things like the utilities, water, telephone. These are things you may take for granted. We had lunch the other day, friends. One guy was complaining about his electricity bill because he was doing 1,500 a month. He lives in a 4-bedroom house. That's 1,500. Another guy said, look, my house is 5-bedroom. I do 350, maximum 400. What is the difference between the two of them? We drew down. The guy who does 1,500 has air conditioning in all the rooms, and he said his children cannot sleep without air conditioning. So the air conditions are on throughout. The guy who does 300, 350 cities has 2 air conditions. Living room, master bedroom. The children, they sleep under the fan. Even the master bedroom, or Shuba and also. I know cross so I boy left and no do no. Dining room. Living room dear for visitors. When you come, it's on. Ukrasa okwa you do not see a. So let's watch spending habit. Watch me, I'm going to make an important statement. Your salary must dictate what you eat, not your appetite. Your salary, or if you want, your income must dictate what you eat, not your appetite. There is a salary you can do the kimpiski and moving pick and you'll be fine. But there is a salary you have to do cocoa with kose. You will also be fine. For there is a salary you don't even eat breakfast. In the morning you pretend as if you are fasting. So I will fast. I will fast. Fast. Your Bobby 10 I will pay your Gary go baby with more Gary with 2 sachets of water. Watch me. There is some salary level. If you are not disciplined, there are some shops you don't enter. When you are walking in town, the shop is on your left. When you get there, you yourself, you shout, eyes right. If you understand this, it's a matter of time. You go back to that shop with your driver. It's a matter of time. I shall return. Don't borrow to consume. Don't borrow to consume. The impression mentality. People want to impress. Yay. Assembly aba mitimu so meka kwaku fripon the assembly ba. Menka. Don't borrow for a wedding. Men mobisi and fan worry. Don't go and borrow to marry. After all, the first miracle Jesus performed was at a wedding because he had to change water to wine because there was a shortage of wine. Even in the days of Jesus, there were shortages. Now how much more? Are you with me? If it is too crazy, you can buy it. We'll start sharing from the front. Bishop Tienim. Maybe a do a best. The rest of you, the Lord be with you. Put your children in schools you can afford. Don't throw away the leftover food. Anytime you throw away leftover food, it is money you are throwing away. It's not food. I pray that this short time we are spending together will save somebody. Anytime you throw away food, it is money you are throwing away. Watch the rich. I'm managing about 5.3, 5.4 billion cities today. So we meet a few millionaires here and there. Are particular about spending. You visit a rich man, they want to cook, they can ask you, will you wait so that we include you in the food? And Pessia no more, they can ask you, how many fingers of plantain will you eat? And so the rich cook thinking about the people who will eat. The poor and middle class finish cooking, and then we think about those who will eat. To watch this, you visit the rich people, they are even serving you. They don't dish out the food. If it is rice, it's in a flask. It's there. The stew is there. They give you an empty plate. Your cutlery is there. There is a ladder there. The man and the wife, they are seated on one side. They say, serve yourself. Who are we? Oh, they say serve yourself. Meanwhile, they are watching you. What's it? One ladder, 1.5. So I am okay. So is this all you eat? So I am on a sleeping course. Go to the market with a shopping list. Go to the mall with a shopping list. It's important. We have 4 boys. Nyamicha is here. Anytime we go into the mall, we agree on a budget at home. Obia in the limit. So when they get it, they preach the thing. The first thing they look for is the price. The limit here 200. Oh, I can't buy it. In the same mall, you find children crying. Ya so papa be trousers or general wine. Just say ya hijack a bit and collect 2 back. Now that is when, if you are not careful, a stranger will advise you. Oni mo bebia oshia or mos. Oh, tomo mo collect here. I am collect your salary. Oni mo budget, oni mo income, but otufu. Get the whole family involved. The final statement I want to make on this, the time is gone, so I can round up quickly, is the fact that when you go sit down with husband, wife, and children and discuss the family finances, and let them know why the lights cannot be left on during the day, let them understand it. Because they can understand. They can understand. Let them understand it. They would even discipline you. When you leave the light on, they will remind you that you cannot leave the light on. Key number 4 is create your own money machine. Can we take it together? You got to create a machine that creates money. You got to create a machine that creates money. There is a stage when a man, or there is a point when a man works for money, but there is a stage when money must work for a man. You see, when your money works for you, if you have a money machine, all I'm saying is everybody here say unya machine come out, and I will explain it. There is an old story. Let me try to use a minute to paraphrase it. Of this village with poor people, and a stranger comes to town, calls a poor man. They are very poor, a farmer. Let's call this farmer a poor man, and then gives him a gift. What is the gift? He gives him a bird, a goose, a hen. Take care of this bird; it will take care of you. By the next day, the goose had laid an egg, but the egg wasn't an ordinary egg. Nyamicha has gone down. Please help him. The egg wasn't an ordinary egg. The egg looked like pure gold. So the guy looks at it. It's so heavy. Watch me. So he takes it to the gold dealers. They look at it, and it's indeed pure gold. Remember, the stranger told him that this goose will take care of you. Pure gold. They asked him, what do you want to do? He says, sell it for me. So they sold it. Opoma made some good money. The next day, another golden egg. The next 6 months, every day there was a golden egg. Now Opoma has a Mercedes. He's wealthy. Until one day he calls his children and says, you know what? I have a problem with this goose. It is laying only 1 egg per day. So get a knife. Let's kill it and take out all the eggs. So they bring a knife, sharp one, cut off. They open it up. Guess what they found? Nothing. Intestines. From that day, the goose that lays the golden egg is dead. So the next day, there was no golden egg. Within 3 months or so, Opoman has sold his cars. But on the TV. Within 6 months, he was a poor man again. Until one day, he's walking in town. And he's walking in town. And then he meets Pastor... no, the surname. Mreku. He meets Pastor Mreku. Pastor Mreku says, I've been looking for you, poor man. Why? Pastor Mreku says, I bought one of those golden eggs from you. And I had a hen that had also laid eggs. So I added that golden egg to see what will happen. And it hatched into a beautiful chicken with golden wings. Within 3 months, it started laying golden eggs, just like yours. But listen to what Pastor Mreku said. Unlike you, I have not been selling the golden eggs. I keep hatching them. So today, I have 1,500 of those birds, laying 1,500 golden eggs per day. Opoman, God bless you. Why do I share this story? Watch me. Money. The golden egg represents money. But the goose that lays the golden egg is the money machine. Don't worry yourself too much about money. Start thinking about what is it that I can create that creates the money. Because if you have the cars and the television and all that, and you don't have a money machine, it's a burden. It's not a blessing. So you got to have a money machine. 3 types of automatic money machines. 1, paper assets. 2, properties. 3, business. Paper asset. Next slide. Paper asset. Simple things like treasury bills, treasury bonds, fixed deposit, collective investment schemes, mutual funds, unit trust. These are simple things you put money in and then it generates money for you. So you put money in and then it creates money itself. Are you with me? And I love paper asset because they are quiet. If you don't tell anybody you have investment, nobody knows. And then the money works for you and it generates more money. The money works for you and it generates more money. You don't tell anybody, nobody knows. And so I love paper assets, and anybody can invest in paper assets. 50 CD, 100 CD you can start, and the money works for you and it generates money. Are you with me? So, and it's an automatic money machine. Because the money is there and it works and it brings the money to you. The second area, okay, very important. Salary is the medicine for managing poverty. It does not cure poverty. Only a business or an investment cures poverty. But not all of us can run a business, but everybody can invest. You got to start investing now. If you don't find a way to make your money work for you while you are asleep, you will keep working when you have to sleep. There is nothing wrong with being a salary employee. After today, there is everything wrong with limiting your income to salary. Salary must only be one source of income. Second area is properties, real estate. Anytime you are building a house or buying a house, it's either for consumption or investment. You don't approach them the same way. Consumption means you are going to live in it. Investment means you want to get rental income from it. But if you are looking at rental income, you got to get your model right. Else it's a complete waste of money. It comes with its own challenges: low occupancy, destructive tenant, low rental income, deterioration and refurbishment, among others. You don't get the location right. I've seen people who have spent so much on a house, and all they are getting is 500 cedis a month as rental income. 1,000 cedis, 1,500 a month. When you compare to the investment, the payback period is 8 years. And then the third area is business, where you set up a business that runs and then generates money for you. 4 sources of income: employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. The worst among the 4 is employee. The worst among the 4 is employee. You want to make money, it's on the right side. Isaiah 60:11. Isaiah 60:11. Go back. Isaiah 60:11. Your gates, it's plural. Your gates will always stand open. They will never be shut, day or night, so that people may bring you the wealth of the nations. Your gates. It's not one gate. In our houses, we have one gate, and we lock it at night. But the Bible says your gates, you got to create money machines. You got to create gates that even when you are asleep, people are still giving money to you. Whether if you have investment, that is a gate. You have a small business, that is a gate. You have Uber, that is a gate. You have property for rental, that is a gate. You got to create several gates. And even when you are asleep, people will walk through and bring you the wealth of the nation. Money is irrational. Money cannot think. Money does not know a good man from a bad man. Good people, genuine people who love the Lord can be poor if they don't understand money. Because money will not come to you because you are righteous. Unbelievers, people who don't even believe God exists, who understand money, will make money. The church has embraced the personality of Jesus Christ, and we have left out the principles. Because Jesus is the greatest teacher on money. If you want to run a business, you may want to ask, or you may want to look at businesses that are running and ask, can I do it better, faster, safer, classier, healthier, more refreshing, more durable, more relaxing, cheaper, more comfortable, more secure? If your answer is yes, you are in business. You got to create what I call multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. Do something addition to your regular work. Watch me. Never use your employer's time to do your side hustle. It's unchristian. It's unethical. But if you can do something in addition to your regular work, do it. There is a banker at the moment I know who is also a DJ. He's a banker. 8 to 5 he's a banker. In the evening he's a DJ. I have a lady friend who has 3 master's degrees. 3. She's a big corporate woman, big woman. But she's going to learn how to do decor. She does rentals. And because she's a big corporate woman, she has a certain network. Into 1 weekend, 20K. Look at the problems around you and solve something. Do something in addition to the regular. I have a friend who has a master's degree. We went to a board meeting one day. We sit on a company board. He says, Paul, today I'm in suit and tie. He said, tomorrow when you look for me, you will not find me in suit and tie. I said, where will I find you? He said, you'll find me in the farm. I'll be feeding my pigs. I own a piggery. But the money that comes from the pigs does not smell funny. One of the challenges with money is pride. People are not humble. Because we've seen ourselves as job, you are too low for me. Nobi a mikita first degree. Nobi a mikita masters. When you want to make money, put that away. Roll up your sleeves. Sometimes you need to make yourself dirty to make money. Are you with me? I have a young guy I am mentoring. The young guy, the guy is so wealthy. He does small things. He is into commodities or not or KOFI maize, not the aba or or tipa trucks miensa or fish or kakra or kakra. He's about 32, but he's doing so many things. He's put a degree somewhere. I told him he was my student. I was teaching in a December class, MBA. He was my student. That is when we met. He's put MBA somewhere. He's doing well. Next slide. These are all some opportunities, areas you can make money. Car wash, food, school, poultry, laundry, and all that. The last thing I want to share because of the time is Lunch Operation 1 Million. Can we rehearse it together? Can we rehearse it together? Operation 1 Million simply means take the step towards making your first million Ghana cedis. First million Ghana cedi. Operation. Come on. Operation. Ahana power. Operation. Operation. Good. Operation 1 million. As I say, a part of you. Some of you, if your wife is here, Musoriano Pakre say greetings. So operation, your wife responds 1 million. 1 million. 1 million. 1 million. 1 million. Operation. 1 million, operation, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, oh God, 1 million, 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 operation, 1 million, 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 operation, operation, operation. I want the thing to enter you. Look at that. If you can get 18% interest compounded quarterly, anybody here who can do 150 cedis every month, within 27 years, you make 1.1 million. 300 cedis every month, within 23 years, you cross 1 million. 600 every month, within 19 years. 1,000 every month, within 16 years. 1,005 every month, within 14 years. 3,000 every month within 11 years, 6,000 every month within 8 years, and we can go on and on. Everybody will find your level somewhere. Operation. Is this difficult? I know people will say, oh, the 1,000 they made me here, but 16 years now, what? And what? Watch me. We're in this country when President KOFI became the president of Ghana. You know him. You know the year he became a president. Which year? 2000. How many years ago? Everybody will find your level. The financial independence, charting a path towards financial independence. The financial independence journey is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Momentum. I was in a church one day. I asked, how many can do 150 every month? The whole church. By the time I got to 1,500, Bishop, it was only one woman. 3,000, Mamia. 6,000, the same woman. So I said, Ma'am, you're a powerful woman. She said, oh, elder, me, I lifted my hand by faith. How do you make the million? You do it through the concept of little by little. You build it up little by little. And the concept of compounding. Compounding means, the way the compounding works is, if you make interest and you don't take the interest, with time, as your principal is making interest, the interest is also making interest. And with more time, all the interest makes interest, and the old interest makes interest, and the principal makes interest, and the interest on the interest makes interest, and all the interest on the interest makes interest, whilst all the old interest is making interest, and the principal is also making interest, and very soon, operation. John D. Rockefeller started working as a clerk, earning $3.75 per week. From this amount, he gave half to his church and saved 50 cents. It wasn't much, but it was the beginning. By the time he was 50, he was perhaps the richest man in the world. Proverbs 13:11. Dishonest money dwindles away, but he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. You don't need super income to make your first million. You need steady income. You need a plan, and you can still make your first million. 3 levels on which you can operate. Level 1 is when you are committing something every month. Look at even 100 cedis every month. Within 30 years, 36,000 cedis of investment will grow to 1.3 million. Of course, I know that in 30 years, the value of 1.3 million will not be the same as today. But it will still be 1.3 million. You will be worse off without that. Look at 200 cedis every month. 200 every month. 200 every month. Even with that, within 25 years, you cross 1 million. Within 30 years, 2.6 million. 500 cedis every month. Within 15 years, 434,000. Within 20 years, 120,000 of investment will cross 1 million. Within 30 years, 180,000 will be 6.5 million. Look at 2,000 cedis every month. 2,000 every month. Within 10 years, you're looking at 642,000. Within 20 years, you're looking at 4.3 million. Within 30 years, 26 million. Look at level 2. Level 2 is when you do a small lump sum and then you add something every month. Look at 20K plus 500 every month. 20K plus 500 every month. Within 20 years, 1.7 million. Within 30 years, 10.4 million. Look at 100K plus 2,000 every month. Within 10 years, 1.2 million cedis. Within 20 years, 7.7 million. Within 30 years, 45 million Ghana cedis. Now let's look at level 3. Level 3 is where I encourage everybody to look towards. Whether you have a lump sum or you are committing something every month, escalate every year. Afibia 2. So look at 200 cedis. But these 200 cedis, we are growing it by 10% every year. Every year, we are near the 10%. So 200 for the first year. Second year will be 220. The next year will be about 242. Every year, we are near the 10% account. Even with that, within 25 years, you're looking at 1.9 million. Within 30 years, you're looking at 4.9 million. Compared to the 200 every month. Within 4 years, within the 30 years, we're looking at 2.6 million. When we grew it by 10%, it was 4.9 million. Look at 500 every month. 500 every month. We are growing it by 10%. Within 20 years, you're looking at 1.8 million. Within 30 years, you're looking at 12.4 million. When we did a 500 every month without growing it, within 30 years, we're looking at 6.5 million. So whatever you do, grow it every month. Next slide. And the next one. Look at 2,000 every month, growing by 10% every year. 2,000 every month, growing by 10% every year. Within 20 years, 7.5 million. Within 30 years, 49 million. I am intentionally not talking about 5 years. You want to take this journey serious, you want to chart a path, minimum 5 years, maximum 25 years, 30 years. Everybody can be financially independent. Minimum 5 years, maximum 25 years, 30 years, you can do it. Look at the 2,000 without the escalation. With that one, within 30 years, we are looking at 26 million. But when we escalated 10%, it was 49 million. But you can also do, next slide, so look at the 20K plus 500. But this time around, we are growing the 500 by 10% every year. Within 20 years, we're looking at 2.5 million. Look at the next one, which will be the final one. 100K plus 2,000. And we are growing the 2,000 by 10% every year. Within 10 years, 1.4 million. Operation. Guys, is this difficult? Is it difficult? With discipline, it's possible. Everybody can make it happen. And I've seen too many results. Too many of them. One of the guys who came in 2012 or 2013, we did a plan today, he has 1.8 million. It's very possible. Next slide. The concept of the base. This is what it means. The interest is calculated on what you have invested. So the bigger what you have invested is, the quicker it grows. Remember, 18% on 1,000 cedis is on 1,000 is 180 cedis. But 18% on 100,000 is 18,000. But the same 18% on 1 million is 10 million is 1.8 million in 1 year. So it is called a base. So if you want to start this journey, I encourage you, young people, make some sacrifices and quickly build a base. Because once you build a base, you get to a point because you build a base. And I've seen people who make. We had lunch with one elderly friend of ours, Sweet. You remember when we spent a weekend with him? He is not in Accra. At that time, he was making 400,000 cedis every month as interest. Because base now you can see it. It's base now you can see there is a limit to how much you can eat, how much you can spend, how many cars you can drive. It's a better this kind of set then it will keep growing. Wow. You're welcome, sir. Are you with me? Are you with me? Has it been a good time? So I am done, but I'm concluding. Balance in family income is important. There are a number of families, the family relies on one person. So the whole family income is coming from either the wife alone or the husband alone. It can be problematic. So I encourage us to have a balance in the family income. And imagine life as a game in which you are juggling some 5 balls in the air. And you name them work, family, friends, work, family, health, friends, and spirit. You will soon recognize that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. The other 4 balls, family, health, friends, and spirit, are made of glass. If you drop one of these, they will be irrevocably scarred. Don't sacrifice your family life because you want to make money. Don't sacrifice your spiritual life for money. Don't sacrifice your social life. There are some of us, we don't have any social life. We are not connected to anybody. We don't go for wedding. We don't go for funeral. Our whole life is work. Work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it will bounce back. But the other 4 balls, family, health. You make money, you lose your health. It's an inheritance. So watch it and start early. Where do you invest? Next slide. For those who are big on the dollar, I know we are going through some depreciation, but when you look at history, and I've done this right from 1990 to date. When you look at history, you would realize that the cedi keeps depreciating, but the interest you get in cedis averagely is more than the depreciation. So unless you are investing the dollar, there is no point. Based on history, I don't know what will happen in the future, but I've gone back to 1990 and compared to even Treasury bill, and it became clear that the return in cedis is better than holding the dollar. Where do you invest? Has it been a good time? Yeah. Has it been a good time? Yeah. Have you enjoyed it? Yeah. I beg you, permit me to make a statement. If you have enjoyed this, and you are going to start investing, and you will invest and make your first million, don't talk to any investment house. Talk to my company. Is that fair? That is fair. So talk to EcoBank EDC. And that is why I brought Emmanuel here. When you look at the return on investment, and of course, it's not just because I work there. The return has always been about Treasury bill. From 2013 to date, average Treasury bill has been 17.5. The fund has returned 20.7, approximately average of 21. In fact, today a number of institutions and even churches, I am a member of the Church of Pentecost, I've lost count of our accounts because I've told them, project money, you are building. There is no point in the money sitting down idle. Put it in an investment. As you need, you draw on it. Because this fund, next slide, and next one again. This fund gives you great returns. But it doesn't only give you great returns, it also gives you flexibility. Yes, Bishop. Okay, let's go back. Good. Enti, what fund we are? Nienti America recommended no. and my some of my workers are here, Bishop. Bank Jumana here, you know, media my fan say nyamena frey. We are not working just for profit, but it's an opportunity to change lives. For people to have a great retirement, great future. When you look at the returns, it has always, the EDC fixed income fund has always been above Treasury bill. Right from the year 2013 up to 2021. It always above Treasury bill. But I was saying that the reason why I'm saying look at this, next one, and then the next one. It's not just because of the returns, but you get great returns above Treasury bill, but it's also flexible. You can add money anytime, and you can take out money anytime. When you are taking out money, there is no penalty. When you are depositing, that is when we charge a small fee of 0.5%. But that one, if you say you are a son of victory, you will talk to me on the side. I will sort you out. That one, I will sort you out on the side. Don't tell anybody. So you can deposit, you can invest without paying anything, and you are getting above Treasury bill, but you can also have your access to your money anytime. Anytime you need the money, you can have it. Averagely, within 2 days, we pay. And last year alone, people who redeemed, people we paid. Last year, we paid over 1 billion cedis in terms of redemptions. Because people, some are on retirement. Some are actually on retirement salary. They're on retirement. They say every month pay 30,000. Every month pay 40,000. And they take it on a monthly basis. So you get great returns. You also have the liquidity and flexibility. Security, the fixed income fund, about 89% is invested in government and quasi-government securities. So you can sleep sound at night. And it's the biggest fund in Ghana. Fund size is 3 billion cedis. 3 billion. It's the biggest fund in Ghana. And it's convenient. You can do this from any EcoBank branch. And you can even complete an application form online. www.ecobank/swma.com. And you can start. So you can go on an app and then we have even introduced an application. It is called the EcoBank Investor. Once you download the app, you can monitor your investment. You can attach your Visa card, your MasterCard to the application, and you can move money in and out. I am concluding. Anything is achievable. Financial independence is possible. These are 4 pictures taken at the same place. 1990, 2003, 2007, 2017. Anything is achievable. And this is the city of Dubai. Next slide. That is the ruler of Dubai. I love this guy. If you have the opportunity, read his book entitled My Vision. Deep guy. We always fly Emirates, so we spend a lot of time in Dubai. And it's an amazing place. There was one time we were going to the UK with my wife. We spent some days in Dubai. We went to eat in a restaurant, and we left. I was holding the money. We had about 3,000 pounds. So I left it in the restaurant. And we went to the hotel room. After about 3 hours, now I'm here. Now I'm saying, sweetheart, my she is a businesswoman. She spends a lot of time in Dubai. You know what she told me? She said, don't worry, this is Dubai. Now I'm saying, assignment how can many are Britannia $100, 3,000 pounds. Now me dimrika. Me elevator now first floor. Me jump stairs no. I entered the restaurant. I said, we came to eat here. I was saying, no problem. Relax, sir. You were seated there. You left a bag. It's there. They lifted. They gave it to me. I came to count. Money intact. Next slide. Yamicha, get me the books. Those who want to take this knowledge to another level, knowledge.
Your books are in the bookshop.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. The books are in the bookshop. This one is Foundation for Financial Independence. Foundation for Financial Independence. These are 16 keys. And I didn't intend writing books. But you see, you are all taking short of the slides. So I go do presentation, people will ask for the slides. But the slides are bullets. So it was my wife who said, look, And then we polish it. So foundation has 16 keys. And this one is financial independence is possible. Another 16 keys. And this one is Operation 1 million Ghana cedis. How to make your first million Ghana cedi. Operation 1 million. So these are 3 books. There are some in the bookshop, but Emmanuel and Nyamecha also have copies. When we close, you can see them and get copies. But you got to start now. David Chilton, the wealthy Bible says, the best time to plant an oak tree is 20 years ago. And the next best time is now. Oh, if you want to see the benefit of a tree, 20 years ago, you will see the benefit today. But he said, if you made a mistake 20 years ago, don't wait till tomorrow. Plant it today. And I am saying the best time you should have started a journey towards financial independence was the day you turned 18. If you didn't do it at that time, the next best time is, ladies and gentlemen, next slide, I am done. But let me use a minute to share a simple story, and I hand over the microphone. And we are here if there are questions. 2 years ago or so, I needed to go and do some work around the country. I was going to Kumasi, Takwa, the Cape Coast and back. So I decided to go by road. But I went with the Land Cruiser V8. And the color was black. So from Accra to Kumasi, there were policemen on the road. They were stopping all the cars. So we saw policemen. I saw my driver flash the headlamps. And I saw the policeman. So I asked the driver, how come he's stopping everybody? And the driver said, oh, Mr. Manty, it's Land Cruiser V8. That is what the honorables use. So if it's a V8, and I said, hey, stop telling me this unanswered story. What is this? I didn't honestly believe it. So we spent 3 days in Kumasi. We are going to Takwa. I was tired, so I was asleep. I was sitting at the back, the right side, asleep. And the driver is a guy. So I heard him calling me, Mr. Anna. Say, Mr. Manty, meaning Mr. Manty, look at something. So I opened my eyes. There was a police barrier ahead. And the driver says, Black Land Cruiser. You see the policeman, everybody is wearing their beret well because they don't know who is coming. And I said, wow. So we got to the police barrier and the policeman. And yours truly, I was sitting at the back. Once they saluted with a serious face, regional minister for 1 day. It was more like, hey, boys, take good care of the place. So we got to Takwa. I believe in networking. Anytime I travel and I have mates there, I will network. So I called a friend. I said, Charlie, I'm in town. Let's have lunch. He calls me Osofu. So we meet. He said, Osofu, you brought the Land Cruiser V8. It does magic. There is power in this. And I said, why? He said he traveled from Takwa to Takrade, left a car in Takrade, and then he flew to Accra. He was doing a return journey. In the evening, he missed his flight. Stranded at the airport. So he calls a friend that I am stranded. The friend says, you know what, no problem. My driver will pick you up to Takrade where your car is. Ladies and gentlemen, the driver came. The driver came with the Land Cruiser. And the color was black. So he opens the front door to sit down. The driver says, no, it's a Land Cruiser. You don't sit at the front. Please move to the back. So he moves to the back. He sits down, straps his seatbelt, and then the driver tells, where did my boss say I should take you to? He said, Takrade. Listen to what the driver said. No problem. Today, I will show you the power of Black Land Cruiser. They left the airport at 5 p.m. Kotoka at 5 p.m. If you are familiar with the Kaswa Road and the traffic, he was praying, God, you know my children are young. They left at 5 p.m. Exactly at 7 p.m., they were at Takrade. 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. Immediately, Accra to Takrade, he didn't utter a word. Immediately, they got to Takrade airport. No, I told you today, I will show you the power of Black Land Cruiser. We are in Takrade. Get down. Let me go back to Accra. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord bless His word. May the Lord raise kingdom financiers in this church. May the Lord help us raise kingdom giants. Don't forget about the young people who go and start a church in the north, who are financially independent. May the Lord grant us that grace. I said, may the Lord grant us that grace. In our church, it must get to a point when we need to undertake project. People would go to Bishop and say, don't worry about the project. 2 of us, we have paid. If you have been to our Pentecost Convention Center, 1 person donated that entire land. 1 church member. May the Lord bless the church with such people. I said, may the Lord bless the church with such people. When you make money, support the kingdom agenda. It's the reason why we make. How much can you eat? How many cars can you drive? But once you put the money on the church altar, you affect so many lives that you cannot believe. I was in a Church of Pentecost Finance Board meeting yesterday. The money we spent on scholarship last year, my memory serves me right, it could be close to 10 million on scholarships. Because every area, your tithe, a percentage of the tithe must be dedicated for scholarships. And every area, you don't pay, you will give you a query. And the Chairman Yamicha was in the meeting. He said, those days we were focusing on building buildings which are important. But he said, under my tenure, I realized that when you build human beings, they outlive properties. But please, when you make money too, don't forget high life. You make money, chop some. And finally, when you make money, I encourage you to buy a good car. In buying a good car, if you decide to buy a Land Cruiser, the color must be. Thank you.
Another round of applause. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Wow. 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 So we've spent some very good time here. Definitely, I know there are people who have questions, clarifications, and they want to ask those questions. So we are very generous to allow 5 questions. So if you have a question, please get up. Let me see you. And okay, come up here. Let's see you. You must ask a question. Any language is allowed. So let me gather all of them here first, and then we can take the questions. Who else is coming? Please, let's be snappy. Oh, Hannah said, "Ebi a person ubusa question ana uhia enchirichiri mu bi. Ewo ne a yate ne n'anwumre a akwanya wo ho. Timi ka twi, timi ka brofo." Please, if you are coming, be snappy so we can take the questions. It's been amazing, truly amazing, truly amazing. Okay, so let's hear you. We'll take the question and then we allow the speaker to respond to them.
Praise the Lord. Mr. MANTEY, my name is Felix Minka. I'm into window blinds and curtains. So when you look on your right, this is my product. This is the work of my hands. So I'm connecting. At times, I do get a lot of contracts. But by the time I realize, at the end of the month, almost all the money has been used, but I don't know how I use the money. So I need your help.
So we'll take the second set of questions and maybe the third one, and we will allow the speaker to respond to them.
Hallelujah. Mr. Mantel, you mentioned the importance of the base when it comes to investment. So my question is, will it be advisable to go borrow a huge amount to build your base so that you can move faster, and then over a period of time you're also able to pay off the loan? Thank you.
Hello, my friend is Victoria Mausi. Me person me bisa o ka bibi about dollar ne CD no e hon me person wo chire mu ase kaka say we invest wo CDs any dollar no ma na wo ka say CD ne e better than dollar ne hon am person wo chire mu kaka and I think so about Bitcoin me person wo chire Bitcoin ase kaka man that's it.
Let's put our hands together as we take the response from our guest speaker.
Thank you. So on the first question, my brother who works on curtains, where is he? High Life brother. So when we finish, I will help you. We'll do a plan, okay? Because you need to understand that you work on curtains. Sometimes one technology can just wipe away your business like that. And I shared the story of the dream of Pharaoh. So sometimes you can have a good harvest, but it doesn't last forever. And when you have the harvest, you need to be able to put some of the harvest away. So in the time of challenges, you rely on it. So when we close, I will connect. I will sit with you. I will give you a financial plan and help you. Okay. Importance of the base. Is it advisable to take a loan to build the base? Yes and no. Because there are good loans and there are bad loans. Any loan you take, loans may not be free. They may come at a cost. But anytime you take a loan, that the cost or the interest you are paying is lower than the interest you can get on investment, it's a good loan. So for example, some people work in places where they give them soft loans. They give them loans at low interest or no interest. Such loans are good loans. There is nothing wrong with taking them and investing them. So they are giving you a loan at 3%. You are investing and getting 20%, 17%. Why not take it? You can take it and invest it. It's a challenge. I've told you already, don't take a loan to consume. So you don't take a loan to go and buy dining room set. You are going to marry. You take a loan to buy a TV. You take a loan to buy a TV. Anytime you are watching the TV, it's your future you are watching. You don't take a loan to do such things. You don't take a loan for consumption. However, there are a few who have challenged me that, yes, I want to take a loan. Even though the interest rate is higher than the interest I get on the investment, I still want to take the loan. And this has been their argument. I don't think I have the discipline. When I take the loan of 100K, they will take 2,000 every month. I will manage with what is left. But Paul, if I don't take the loan, me myself, I don't have the discipline to put away the 2,000. So I would rather take the loan. I am paying 23%. I am getting 21%. But it will save me. I will be able to build that base. So people can make all kinds of arguments. But when you look at the numbers, you need to look at what is the cost. What is the benefit? You need to do cost-benefit analysis. And based on that, you can make a decision whether you want to take a loan or not. Then the question on the loan, dollar loan. I said investing in CDs is better than dollar. No, I didn't say that. I said that when you look at the depreciation of the CD against the dollar year on year, and I've gone back as far as 1990, and you compare to the return you make in CDs, history tells us that the return you make in CDs far more compensates than the depreciation. I didn't say if you invest in dollar. If you are investing in dollar, then you are investing and getting returns in the dollar. But the point is, a lot of people buy the dollar and they hold. If you are just holding, and I even added this caveat that I don't know what will happen in the history, into the future, but I'm talking about what has happened in the past till today. I mean, last year depreciation wasn't up to 5%, the whole of last year. But last year you could invest and get between 15 and 20%. The year before, depreciation wasn't up to 5%. I think it was about 3.3% or so. So that is the point I have made. If you want to invest in dollars, why not? You can do that. If you want to invest in dollars, we do it. But normally we look at the minimum of 200K. We can buy Euro bonds for you. You could get between 3 and about 7 or 8%. Sometimes 10% on a good date. Now, a number of countries are struggling. So, a number of Euro bonds are trading at very low price. If you have money now, you can take advantage and buy some Euro bonds. We can help you do that. But I didn't say that investing in cedis is better than dollars. Bitcoins, I didn't talk about Bitcoins. And I deliberately did not talk about Bitcoins because I don't fully understand Bitcoins. If you understand it, the Lord be with you. Don't put money in anything you don't understand fully. And based on what I've done, the research and what I've read about Bitcoin, you realize that it has a lot of volatility. Anything that you can make very high returns, what it means is you can also make huge losses. You are getting me? I talk about financial planning. I don't talk about people winning lottery or doing something that overnight you can become a millionaire. I want people to live their lives such that you can plan into your future. You can know that what I am doing, another 10 years, I'll make my first million. For the part I am taking, another 15 years, I can make my first $1 million. That is what I teach. So I don't focus too much on what to do, and overnight, one moment you can make money, the next moment you can lose money. So I didn't even talk about stocks, shares, and I deliberately did not do that. You come to us one-on-one, we can talk about shares. But when I stand in public, I won't tell anybody go and buy shares because it can be volatile. One moment you can make good money, the next moment you can lose it. I remember I bought Ben's oil palm plantation several years during IPO for somebody. Within a short time, returns 100%. In like a month, less than 2 months, 100%. So I called the client that I need to see you. He came. I said, you know what? Let's take what we invested out. If you invested 100,000, let's take it out because you have 100,000. Then you know that whatever is left is your profit. So you don't understand simple mathematics. If 1 month is equal to 100%, 1 year will be equal to what? And I said, no, it doesn't work that way. But watch it. The thing went to 200%. When it got to 200%, he called me. So I told you. You don't understand this thing. He said, me, I'm helping you. Okay, no problem. Then it went to about 300% or so. Then, when it started dipping, he wanted to sell. But at that time, everybody wants to sell. So the price came down. He sold and made some 30% or 40% profit. Because he didn't sell at the time he needed to sell. So we don't talk about the risky stuff in public. Because there are people who are beginners. There are people who are new. And you don't want to introduce them to any sophisticated things. Do your fixed income. The more you get sophisticated, you can look at other things and introduce them. Are you with me? So I think I've answered all questions.
Okay, so maybe a grace period for that one important question. Oh, okay, so you were sitting down there.
Good evening. Energy. Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Clement. I was a finance student from the University of Ghana. And you spoke about mortgage. Okay, so please, you spoke about mortgage. And servicing a mortgage comes with risks. Sometimes you default and then it's taken from you. So with such, and then again, I want to also add emergencies. How do you manage emergencies while you equally save at the same time? Because sometimes the emergencies also comes with an opportunity that you have to take from your savings or whatever you're doing and then invest into. Like you said, during COVID, people were made millionaires. So at this time, these people took money from their account and invested into solving problems that was helping with COVID issues. So I want to hear some more from you about that, please.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you. Very good question. So on mortgages, yes, when you default, you can lose the property. And remember when I talk about mortgages, I said that don't take a big house, don't buy a big house. And there is a reason why I said don't buy a big house. Because you put pressure on yourself. What I exactly said, and I mean every word I speak, I said buy a smaller house that can be expanded. And I also said that when you take a mortgage, the rule is 7 years pay off. And there is a reason why I said 7 years. Because the more you wait, the more you pay. So I said when you take a mortgage, don't change your car. Do you remember? And the reason is that immediately you take a mortgage, because of the risk with mortgage, immediately you take a mortgage, let the focus be on the repayment. When you have 10,000, now they are come on. Now we reduce you. When you have 2,000, now they are come on. The monthly servicing will be running. But you get small, you go and pay. Some of the mortgages, they will even penalize you for paying ahead. But don't worry, take it and pay. And the rule is 7 years, clear it. Then the house becomes yours. And I also said, don't take a mortgage in the currency of your earning. So if you are earning cedis, don't go and take a mortgage in dollar. And yes, sir, anytime the cedi depreciates, your heart, your blood pressure. So that is the case. How do you manage emergencies? You save, I talked about savings. Savings is deferred consumption. And you will normally save for two reasons. You either save to handle emergencies or for investment. So if you want to do proper financial planning, you need to have an emergency fund. And the emergency fund the rule is you get 6 months of your income in an emergency fund. So you know this is an emergency fund. It's not a 20-year plan. When something happens, this is what I can fall on. You may not be able to get the 6 months within a year, but you can build the emergency fund little by little. You put 200 cedis down into an investment. You know that this is an emergency fund. We have maybe close to about 10 different accounts. BBI your account. Everything. Even High Life. We have an account. Yes, every month there is a standing order. And the purpose of the standing order is for blowing time. Yeah. So you got to have an emergency. But you made an important statement. It wasn't part of what I said. But let me say that cash is king. Cash is king. When you have cash, you can do anything you want to do anytime. There is no point. I met a man who has about 10 houses. Who needed about $10,000 for a medical procedure. And he was going around because only cash. So cash is king. When you have cash, if there is a mortgage, there is a default, they need to sell it. It's the person who has cash who can buy it. And you may buy it for cheap. So it's important to state that cash is king. On the property, the mortgage and all that, again, I didn't say this, but I talked about the first house and the dream house. That if you are the average worker, don't do the dream house. Just do your first house. But don't be emotional about houses. It's only in our part of the world that we are attached to a property. When the house needs to go, let it go. If you need to take another one, take it. Don't be emotional about it. It has to do with money. I had a breakfast with a couple, I think in Maryland, and they are on retirement, so I wanted to pay. And the couple insisted on paying. And I said, oh, but you're on retirement. They said, yes, we're on retirement, but we have planned our retirement. So they paid. After that, they said, we want to take you around and show you something. They took me to the first house they bought, a small house when they married. The man was a pastor. The wife is a nurse. They had about 6 children. But when they started having children, guess what they did? They bought a bigger house and sold a small house. When they had the 6 children, even the bigger house, the 3-bedroom was smaller for them. They bought even a bigger house and they moved in there. When all the children grew and left, they sold and bought a smaller house. They call it downsizing. So they sold in their old age. They sold a big house that they don't need. They bought a smaller house. They have cash in their hands. They are chopping. So this is a pastor. He loves motorbikes. They have about 3 motorbikes. He's about 80 years. But they are living a good life. because of the understanding of downsizing. So you don't retire and you are living in a 7-bedroom house. You can't even climb to the first floor, but there are 4 bedrooms there, and you live in that house. You are not getting value out of the property. You are the guy who work hard, buy a small house, make money, chop some and die. The Lord bless you.